morning and welcome to another edition of the Greenbridge Community Housing Podcast. Today we're joined by Suhal. Is that
Suhal.
Suhal. I like to get everyone gets my surname wrong and it's really annoying. So I want to make sure that I get your name right.
How do they? I don't even want to attempt.
No, see, nobody wants to attempt it.
Well, now, but you've scared me now. That's why.
So it's Nerville,
Okay.
but everyone goes Nuff.
Oh, I was going to say Newville.
Yeah, that's perfect as well.
Nerville.
Yeah.
Ah.
But I like to hear the F. So welcome.
Thank you.
To the Greenbridge Community Housing Podcast. We're joined today by the King's Trust. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
So I am a youth development lead. There are a variety of YDLs, youth development leads, overlooking a big variety of programmes. My specialism in particular is delivery partnerships. There's quite a few of us, so we're not on direct delivery, but we support our delivery partners who run some of our other programmes. So that includes Team, which we'll be speaking about today, and also Achieve, which is targeted towards primary school.
Oh.
No, sorry. Secondary school students, and also Enterprise Challenge, which is another wonderful programme also for secondary school. I have a couple of teams in Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire, and also London, and it's a lot of fun being able to support all those fantastic deliverers to support their young people and being able to stop in and see the journey over the course of the 12 weeks of the programme.
So the programme runs for 12 weeks. You said about secondary school. So if I had a child in secondary school, they'd be able to get access to this programme as well? Or how would it work?
So we support 16 to 25 on this programme.
16 to 25,
yeah.
Okay.
So for any young people that don't continue education up until 18, they, if they're not in education or training or employment, then that is essentially our eligibility criteria.
Okay.
16 to 25 who are NEET, and it's about supporting that group of young people who don't have that support network, don't have an educational institution to rely on for guidance and support, or maybe they've haven't had the best experiences with their education or not the best experience with teachers in the past, which is very common for the type of young people we get on our programme.
Oh, really? Okay, so is it when you say not a great experience, do you mean that they didn't get the grades that they wanted, didn't like the experience of school, or is it a combination of all of those things?
It really is a big variety. We definitely get sort of young people who maybe were viewed as students that behaved really badly when there were underlying causes that just weren't looked into, or students who didn't fit the way academia is set up.
Yes.
The structure of sitting down in a classroom all day because of any additional learning needs that didn't suit them for that reason.
Right.
But we also we have graduates as well come join.
Right.
Not only people who have finished university or those who have dropped out of university. It really is just for those who really require that guidance to develop their soft skills, to develop their confidence, and to figure out what they want to do next. It's a fantastic stepping stone, and not just a stone. I think it really probably more like a stepping trampoline. It springs you up.
Yeah, elevates you to that next level.
Yeah.
So 16 to 25. Do you find it's more male or females or mixture of both?
We definitely we have our own EDI targets, which
right.
It's a challenge to reach. We aim to have, is it 48?
Is it 50-50 split, or is it a little bit less? 48.
I assume 50, but we aim for 50%.
Right. Okay.
But we often find, and this is across all of our programmes, not just, at least for our the London region, for our London teams and home counties, we find that it's a struggle to reach that target, and we do often get more male than female participants.
Right.
And that's something that is an ongoing ongoing focus and an ongoing priority.
Why do you think that is, that there's more male than female? Or don't you?
It's that's such a big question, right?
Yeah.
Is it to do with the program, right? Is it not maybe engaging for female participants? Are there aspects of it that don't align with female learners, or is it kind of a wider social problem?
Yeah.
I think in recent statistics we've seen in education that young boys, particularly young working class boys, are the ones who fall behind the most, and girls more often than not do perform better academically. So that could be one cause.
Okay.
Other causes we found, particularly when we consider the type of young people we're targeting, those who have fallen through the cracks, who need that guidance, particularly those who are of an ethnic minority. We've also come across challenges where some families don't want their daughters to seek out that additional provision.
Right.
Because of stigma, because it feels like a taboo. So that's I've heard that. I've heard it's just not for me, or for some they just don't want them mixing with so many boys sometimes, especially at the age of 16 to 25. You're at that sort of cusp of an age where you're going through puberty, you're figuring a lot out, life is changing so much, and perhaps
I do
maybe
remember
the last
it very
thing,
briefly.
Exactly. And the last thing some of these parents want is for them to be around potentially just a bunch of 20-year-olds. But that's not the spirit of the programme.
No.
There is a lot of peer-to-peer support, of course, but it's all in an effort of self-development.
So with regard to how do you deliver your programme to potential participants? Do you go into schools? Do you go into community centre? How do you actually engage those people to come forward onto the programme?
So we do our own outreach. Today, for example,
perfect example.
Yeah, perfect example of me doing my job. We often go to different events, whether it's college fairs or different student events or job fairs as well. Also to kind of our central King's Trust marketing. But beyond that, all of our delivery partners do location-based, place-based outreach.
Right.
So in their local communities, they'll also be going to the local community hubs, whether it's temples or mosques or churches, different clubs or flyers in the town hall, things like that. In their local hotspots, they'll do their outreach to market the programme.
So the programme lasts for 12 weeks. Yeah. Do you find any participants fall out after week 2 or week 1 or day 1? Because I went to the presentation, which was lovely at the Hitchin Priory, and it's intense. It's an intense 12 weeks.
Yeah.
If you've got a fear of heights, I was like, he's going up there. If you don't like water, again, but it's also a good way to challenge that inner warrior inside you to say, okay, let me have a go. Can I actually do this? Can I achieve this? It was quite an intense 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So what's the ratio of people starting and finishing?
Just based on I've not seen. I don't know if we've run the numbers on this, so I'm not sure based on data. But personally, anecdotally, I find that there are a lot of young people who might drop out in week 1 when they're being introduced to the programme. They've talked about it lots, but they see it in practicality. They see all the young people in one room in practicality and decide, not for me.
Right.
And then the second point where a lot of young people will leave is very coincidentally after the really fun week of adventures and doing the high ropes and the water activities, and then when they get back, it's time to start doing some work, and that's often when we get a lot of young people.
Because you have to then do projects.
Yeah. So
showcase what you've done.
Absolutely.
It's intense.
It is, yeah. Following the residential, they go into community project where they have to plan and execute a project that will give back to the local community. And we've had lots of fantastic community project ideas, whether that's the litter picking or redecorating a space that needs that sprucing up.
Yeah.
I think in Bedford as well, most recently, it's been a lot of cleaning up, re-sprucing some areas. Once at a family, like a council family hub, they repainted some of the rooms, which they were all really grateful for, repainted some of the children's nursery rooms. So it's all about giving back, and which is fantastic. But I guess after a week of kayaking and archery and zip line, it's just not as fun.
Yeah. But they're told, obviously, at the beginning what's expected of them. How do you keep them motivated then throughout the 12-week? How do you... I mean, I met one of the delivery people, Ben. He's so much energy in this one person. It's unreal. But what came back from the young people in the presentation was how kind, understanding, empathetic, helpful, never gave up on any of them. And, you know, they said about themselves how difficult they would find themselves to work with. So for someone to keep going and make sure that they get to the end of the... So, and I, you know, managed to...
love the self-awareness.
Yeah. So I managed to speak to Ben, and I hope, you know, I will be doing a podcast with him in the future. But really inspirational young person himself. I think because there was an older guy there, lovely as well, forgotten his name, awful. Brian, that's it. But the young people tend to navigate towards that, although Brian was great, they just didn't feel that his life experience... I mean,
that's why they make a good team.
Yeah.
They bring different things to the table. They balance each other out.
Yeah.
And I do think 50% of the engagement, 50% of the program's success is who is delivering it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have the most amazing delivery staff ever, who you were very lucky to meet and already see in action what they do and how amazing they are. I think a lot of it is, you know, they interview them, they recruit them, they speak to their family and, you know, whoever their next of kin is in their support network. They understand that young person. They understand what's happened in that young person's life that's led to where they are now. Why are they joining team? What sort of experiences meant that they ended up without any education, employment, or training? And it's whether they've had bad experiences in school, bullying, or whatever experiences they've had. When they understand that young person and the reasons they're there, they can accommodate that.
Yes.
They can understand that young person, because they are so amazing with young people, our deliverers. They're good at their jobs.
Yeah.
And that's how they'll motivate them. They're good at... it's not the same as in school where there is just sort of a strict set of rules and they don't consider the individual circumstances when a rule is broken, and it's the same punishment and so on and so forth. So I do think our deliverers understand our young people, understand where they need allowances, but also understand where they need to be pushed. And for a lot of them, for many of them, it's the first time they've had a teacher treat them with that sort of respect. So I think they really take that on.
Yeah, that's the key thing, isn't it? I think when you're in school and you're in a classroom and there's 30 of you, I often feel for the teacher because you've got 30 different sets of personalities to deal with. You're always going to get those personalities in the room that are overpowering, overwhelming, always wanting to talk all the time and not listen. So it's nice for those young people to feel heard.
Yeah,
and I think that's what I got back from the presentation. Someone actually listened to not my story, but what I need.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I actually need, not what I want, what I actually need to get through this course, to finish, to then be able to go on and to actually then be able to have a job at the end of it was phenomenal. I thought I was quite emotional. And Lisa,
they are emotional.
Lisa,
that's okay.
Yeah, it was.
They are always quite
Lisa, my manager, said, "Are you crying?" I said, "No, I'm good. I'm not going to cry. I won't cry." I went until I actually met the young person, and then I started crying because he actually admitted that I was, a troubled child, and he didn't even know why. I think he just got into the wrong group in school.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks like fun. Let's go and do that. And then realised, well, okay, they've actually finished their work, but I haven't even started mine. So came away with nothing. But actually then managed to complete something for himself. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then to actually get a job at the end of it, I said to his dad, I can't. I have to go now. It's too much. But yeah, it was nice to see how the programme was executed and the actual end. Because you don't often get to, you start the programme, don't you? And we have these conversations and we assume that at the end of it, everyone finishes and everything's lovely, but you never actually get to see that. So to physically see that was lovely.
I think definitely a pro in engaging in any King's Trust programme is that start to finish support. We, from our side, what our role includes is really making sure the young people are aware that the King's Trust isn't going anywhere just because you finished the programme.
Right.
We celebrate the programme. We're there at different points throughout the programme, visiting, checking in, but a very key visit is telling them about what are your next steps. Do we have another programme that would suit those needs, suit what you're interested in? Do you need further support that maybe your deliverers can't give because they've got another programme in a couple of weeks and they won't be able to do much more than, a couple texts just checking in. So we definitely aim to have that start to finish support, and we're very focused on those positive outcomes, to make sure that the programme has actually made an impact and is helping them. Or whether it's just, they don't necessarily have that positive outcome, but they're at a better place where they now have the tools to figure out how to get there. So
yeah,
that's really wonderful.
Yeah, that is also the flip side, isn't it? You don't necessarily need to have finished and, gained employment from it.
Absolutely
It is that there was the young girl on there who was quite shy at the beginning, but actually spoke at the end. And apparently 12 weeks prior would never have stood up and had that conversation with anyone. So that was lovely. Met her parents as well. And they said, oh, we can't shut her up now. Which is lovely.
Yeah.
As
and that
she's
is what
actually
she's
engaging.
Gained, and that is what she's developed, which
and she's now
amazing.
A confident young woman.
Yeah.
Which again was lovely. If we've got any of our service users watching, how do they get in contact with the King's Trust to join up on the programme?
Yeah, just go on the website, click on contact, give us a ring, message the online chat. That's all you need to do. Just go on the website.
Okay.
You can call, you can do an online chat, and then once they figure out, if it's for team, once they figure out where you are location-wise, they'll pass you on to whichever YDL is designated to that programme.
Okay.
And then, I just had a referral call yesterday. I checked in, spoke to them, reminded them what the programme was, just to double check they're still interested, answered any questions or concerns that they might have about the programme. And then I passed them on to our wonderful staff, who then arrange an interview with them and bring them onto site and try to understand them as a person, understand if they'll be a good fit for the programme during that interview, where they get that deeper context on that young person. So, we don't go into anything on the phone call. We just check that they are still interested, and
then you invite
dot
them
the
in.
I's and cross the T's. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what is the website? So can you give the website details out to
Of course I can.
Listeners?
Of course. I just want to get the ending right, because it's .com, .org, or, all that stuff. You just never know. King's Trust. So it's kingstrust.org.uk.
Okay, great.
Once you go on the website, sorry, it's not very good signal. There we go. You just go on, you go on the menu, and at the very bottom, there's a big contact us button. And then you can, put in an online request. There's also a number on here for you to call.
Great.
Whatever sort of contact you prefer. You can also have someone else contact for you if you're not feeling confident about making that initial point of contact. We've had parents, we've had social workers, we've had other family and friends contact on behalf of a young person and say, I've spoke to them, they're interested, I like to sign them up for this. And we're perfectly fine with that. We're perfectly happy for someone else to reach out on their behalf, because that first step can be quite daunting. And
Yes.
if you're able to have that support to help you that little bit of a way, why would you not take that? It's a privilege to sort of have that support to help you along the way. And ultimately, the young person does need to do the interview and confirm their details. But aside from that, just go on the website, click on contact, and
So if the young person's feeling a little bit daunted, and could they bring someone along with them to the interview? Because sometimes that can be a little bit of a barrier, can't it?
Yeah,
Sitting in front of someone I don't know, having a conversation about myself. So is it okay to bring a friend, their support worker, social worker,
100%,
anyone?
100%. And we definitely encourage it so they feel the most comfortable they can be to open up.
Yeah.
Because that interview, that meeting is so crucial for the delivery staff to understand that young person. So anything that will help them feel more comfortable, absolutely, they are more than welcome to bring someone along. I think we've had in the past where we've had young people go to an interview and they've brought their friend along, and then their friend ends up wanting to join the program. We've also had that, or like people bring siblings, and their sibling then wants to join the program, and then they both interview to join the program. So you know what? If you get an interview and you've got a friend that you think,
bring them along.
I'm going to tell them I need you to come with me, and try and get them on the program too.
As well.
Try to convince them to join.
Isn't it? To convince them.
Yeah.
So what keeps you motivated in your job?
I think I've always been quite passionate about youth development and young people overall. Young people are the future. I mean, I'm young, as a young woman myself, I've definitely experienced parts of our current, political context, social context of how tricky it's been for young people. Like I've not got the same lived experience as, say, some of the young people we have on program, but I've been a young person in the UK, and I know how that feels. So anything that will help young people really is what motivates me, and especially when you went to the presentation, I think seeing their journey from start to finish is the most wonderful thing.
Yeah,
ever.
I agree. Yeah,
seeing them change as people, seeing people come out their shell, reach achievements. In fact, and it's the young people themselves and how they feel. And I don't think there's any better than hearing from a young person. Now, this young person is very special. They graduate university. I think we all know how difficult the job market has been after COVID, and they really struggled, and that really knocked them down, that sort of constant rejection, which we weren't prepared for. We weren't really prepared for what it's like. The idea that you're going to be applying for at least 100 jobs and getting 100 no's, maybe 3 interviews amongst those 100 applications, right? You're applying for entry-level jobs, but then they go for the person who's got 5 years experience, and it's a really tough situation to go through. So they found the program, they attended the program, and I'll read their quote first. So, the King's Trust Team Programme will always live in a special place in my heart, as not only did I enjoy every minute of the programme, but it was the catalyst for the career path that I want to go down. So, through doing the programme, I think they had studied, I want to say accounting and finance, that sort of degree at university. And through doing the programme, it really opened their eyes of what they really want to do. And that was their job. He wanted to also help young people.
Oh, wow.
I think that's absolutely wonderful that that experience led to, we have a lot of young people, and of course we're happy to help young people find whatever career they want. But then to see them be inspired to then join the King's Trust is amazing. And in fact, quite a few of our deliverers are young people from programme.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That is incredible.
And who better?
Yes.
Who better to
To
deliver the
deliver than
program
someone that's actually
to
experienced it,
guide
right?
those young people than
Mm.
someone who's been in that position, who's been where they have been, and know how they feel approaching a program like this, or approaching that extra provision or extra guidance after whatever they have experienced previously. Who better to guide them and understand them?
Well, it's testament to the program then, right?
Yeah, I believe it is. I do, yeah.
Thanks ever so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really looking forward to working with the King's Trust in the future. I'm sure there's loads we can do together.
Yes, me too.
Our service users range from sort of 18 to 80, but obviously we're only targeting, you know, those core service users at this point for this program. And it'd be weird because we actually have had someone who's still in our system, if you like, if that's the word, the correct word, who actually attended the program, completed it, and is now going on to study mechanical engineering. So he'll be coming on a podcast in a couple of weeks. So he'll be able to share that. He'll be able to share that, you know, with you guys and with everyone watching. Is a lovely young man, and I'm really looking forward to interviewing him. So thank you for accepting my phone call in the first place.
Thank you for reaching out.
Thanks for the we had a Teams. Did we have it online?
Yeah,
WhatsApp
call.
Yeah, with Jack, who's now moved on. But I had the pleasure of meeting Jack.
Wow, moved on internally.
Yes, moved on internally, but he's a lovely individual as well.
He's amazing.
His energy is incredible. As soon as he opens his mouth, you just want to talk to him.
Yeah.
So he's a really, really nice guy. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.